Even as we grieve, we give thanks for this most faithful life. I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibilities.
Even as we grieve, we give thanks for this most faithful life. I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibilities. In the wake of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's arrest, something unprecedented is unfolding inside Buckingham Palace. King Charles is quietly transferring authority to Prince William, creating a significant rift with Queen Camilla. Reports indicate that William has issued her an ultimatum while Kate is working tirelessly to manage the crisis. Meanwhile, Camilla has become openly combative about being sidelined. This situation isn't just palace gossip. It concerns who truly controls the monarchy's future. Today, we're examining the ongoing power shift, how Prince William is assuming control, why King Charles is stepping back, and how Queen Camilla has unexpectedly become an obstacle to royal modernization. We'll discuss ultimatums, behind-the-scenes battles, and a succession plan that is being accelerated more quickly than anyone anticipated. The crisis that changed everything began on February 19, 2026. On that day, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested, sending shockwaves through the royal household and forcing an immediate reassessment of the monarchy's future. Prince William suddenly found himself at the center of a storm that many insiders say he had predicted years earlier. For a long time, William had quietly warned senior royals that Prince Andrew's controversies posed a serious threat to the credibility of the crown. Now, with Andrew's arrest dominating headlines, those warnings suddenly looked prophetic. According to royal commentators and palace sources, William has begun taking a far more active leadership role behind the scenes. While King Charles remains the official monarch, insiders say many of the strategic decisions regarding the royal family's response to the scandal are being shaped by William. Some observers even suggest that the king has effectively begun sharing authority with his eldest son as the monarchy navigates one of the most delicate crises of the modern era. This shift did not happen overnight. It has been building slowly for years. William reportedly grew concerned about Andrew's associations long before the situation exploded into public scandal. Palace aides had privately raised concerns about Andrew's behavior and relationships as far back as the late 2010s. When Andrew gave his disastrous BBC interview in 2019 defending his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, William is said to have reacted with alarm. According to royal author Russell Myers, William believed the interview was a turning point that could permanently damage public trust in the monarchy. At that time, however, action came slowly. Queen Elizabeth II was reluctant to take harsh measures against her son. Charles, who was still Prince of Wales then, was caught in a difficult position between loyalty to his mother and concern for the institution's reputation. William continued pressing the issue, arguing that protecting the monarchy had to take priority over protecting family members. Fast forward to 2026 and the situation has reached a breaking point. Andrew's arrest has forced the royal family into crisis mode. With King Charles facing health challenges and undergoing ongoing cancer treatment, Prince William's influence within palace decision-making has grown dramatically. Sources suggest that over the past 6 months William has been deeply involved in nearly every major decision regarding Andrew, from removing royal titles to separating him from official royal life and distancing the institution from the scandal entirely. King Charles himself faces a complicated moment in his reign. When he became king in September 2022 at the age of 73, he made history as the oldest person to ascend the British throne. He had spent decades preparing for the role, yet his reign has been overshadowed by challenges that few could have predicted. In early 2024, the palace announced that Charles had been diagnosed with cancer. Although details about the illness were not publicly disclosed, the news immediately raised concerns about the future stability of the monarchy. As the king continued treatment throughout 2024 and 2025, he tried to maintain as many royal duties as possible. However, the strain on the royal household became even more apparent when Catherine, Princess of Wales, revealed that she too had been diagnosed with cancer after undergoing abdominal surgery. Her announcement shocked the public and forced her to step back from public duties while she received preventative chemotherapy. These health crises created an unusual situation within the monarchy. Both the king and the future queen consort were dealing with serious medical challenges at the same time, leaving Prince William to shoulder a growing share of responsibility. Behind palace doors, discussions reportedly began about gradually shifting more authority to William as a way of ensuring stability during a turbulent period. While the palace has repeatedly denied rumors of an early abdication, many royal watchers believe the transition to the next generation is quietly accelerating. One small but significant sign came in 2025 when King Charles granted William and Kate the authority to issue royal warrants, allowing them to endorse certain brands and products on behalf of the crown. Although this may sound like a minor administrative detail, royal warrants have traditionally been tightly controlled by the monarch. Granting that power to the Prince and Princess of Wales signaled a notable transfer of influence. Even more important is the growing perception that William is already acting as a partner in royal leadership. According to insiders, Charles is encouraging his son to take on more responsibility so that he will be fully prepared when the time eventually comes for him to become king. Some sources suggest that during the Andrew scandal, William has been the driving force behind the palace's strategy to protect the monarchy's reputation. At the same time, William has been developing his own vision for the future of the royal institution. Unlike previous generations, he believes the monarchy must evolve to remain relevant in the modern world. His plan involves transforming the royal household into something closer to a modern organization with clear structures, transparency, and professional management. William has already experimented with this approach through the Royal Foundation, the charitable organization he runs alongside Kate. The foundation operates with a CEO, a board of directors, and defined goals, similar to a major nonprofit or corporate entity. The organization regularly publishes updates about its work and financial transparency, something William believes should become standard across the broader royal institution. The prince has spoken publicly about the challenge of introducing change into an institution that is traditionally built on continuity. Any transformation must be gradual enough not to alienate traditional supporters while still meaningful enough to rebuild trust among younger generations. Yet William's modernization efforts are not universally welcomed within the royal family. One of the most unexpected sources of tension has emerged from Queen Camilla. Although Camilla has played an important role in supporting King Charles throughout his reign, insiders say she has clashed with William over several key decisions related to the Andrew crisis. The disagreement centers partly on Camilla's long-standing friendship with Sarah Ferguson, the former wife of Prince Andrew. William reportedly believes the monarchy must completely distance itself from anyone connected to Andrew's controversies. In his view, maintaining friendships with figures linked to the scandal, even indirectly, could undermine efforts to restore public trust. Camilla, however, sees the situation differently. She has known Sarah Ferguson since the 1970s, long before either woman became part of the royal family. From Camilla's perspective, abandoning a decades-long friendship due to guilt by association feels unfair and unnecessary. This difference in philosophy has become one of the most visible cracks in the royal household's internal unity. The tension intensified after reports emerged that William had privately urged Camilla to publicly distance herself from Sarah Ferguson. For the future king to make such a request of the Queen consort is highly unusual and reflects how serious the situation has become inside Buckingham Palace. At the same time, another complicated dynamic has emerged between Camilla and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Kate has increasingly stepped into a leadership role during the crisis, helping coordinate the royal family's public response and working closely with palace staff and advisors. Sources say she has been heavily involved in shaping official statements, managing communication strategy, and supporting William's efforts to stabilize the monarchy's image. Some insiders claim that Camilla has grown frustrated with Kate's growing influence. She reportedly worries that the younger generation's involvement could make it appear as though the king and queen consort are unable to manage the crisis themselves. Supporters of Kate, however, argue that she is simply doing what is necessary to support both the monarchy and her husband during an extremely challenging moment. King Charles himself is said to have defended Kate's involvement, insisting that her efforts are meant to strengthen the institution rather than undermine anyone's authority. Nevertheless, tensions between the two women have reportedly become more noticeable during palace meetings and public events. The situation reached a new level in late February 2026 when William allegedly delivered a clear message to Camilla: the monarchy must fully separate itself from Andrew's circle if it hopes to restore public confidence. This was not presented as a suggestion but as a strategic necessity. According to insiders, William made it clear that protecting the crown's reputation must come before personal loyalties. For Camilla, this demand placed her in an uncomfortable position. Supporting William's strategy could mean distancing herself from longtime friends. Refusing could risk placing her at odds with the future king at a time when his influence within the palace is rapidly increasing. All of these developments point to a broader transformation taking place within the British monarchy. The institution that once relied heavily on tradition and hierarchy is gradually shifting toward a more modern, strategic model of leadership. Prince William appears determined to reshape the monarchy into a smaller, more focused organization with clearer rules and stricter expectations for those who represent the crown. If William eventually becomes king sooner than expected, many observers believe his reign will look very different from those of previous monarchs. The number of working royals may be reduced, decision-making processes could become more transparent, and scandals involving family members may be handled far more decisively. In this evolving landscape, Catherine is also expected to play a more influential role than many previous royal consorts. Her partnership with William has already become central to the monarchy's public image, and many insiders believe she will continue acting as a strategic partner when William eventually takes the throne. For now, however, the royal family must navigate the immediate crisis created by Andrew's arrest and the public scrutiny that followed. The coming months will likely determine whether the monarchy can successfully rebuild trust or whether the controversy will deepen calls for reform or even abolition. One thing is already clear: a generational shift is underway. King Charles remains the monarch, but Prince William's authority continues to grow. Camilla holds the title of Queen Consort, yet Kate is increasingly involved in shaping the royal family's strategy for the future. The old guard still occupies the throne, but the next generation is already preparing to lead. As the situation unfolds and new revelations emerge, the balance of power within Buckingham Palace may continue to